I always hope all of you have a happy life. And thank you so much for attending continuously the Lamrim class. Also, I know some of you are always busy with studying Dharma. Also, I really appreciate about studying Dharma. The most importantly, when we study Dharma, make sure we apply, we use the Dharma when we need it. In order to apply the Dharma in the proper way, we need to know how to apply. Without proper studying, applying Dharma cannot be the right way to solve the problems. Here, the proper study Dharma doesn't mean so we have to study for many years. We have to study with many books. No. The proper studying Dharma means you need to know the actual, the meaning, and we need to know how to apply the actual teaching for reducing the negative thoughts. Therefore, in order to apply Dharma, we need to study in the proper way, and then we know how to practice the Dharma. Therefore, we have been studying Lamrim, particularly this day. So we are studying the particular topic, how to achieve the serenity. Before we start our actual Lamrim class, please cultivate compassion towards all sentient beings. Based on the great compassion, second, please generate bodhicitta, the mind which is wish to achieve Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. Thank you so much. Next, so the topic about how to achieve serenity is very important, because without having the proper meditation, we cannot actually achieve liberation and Buddhahood. In order to achieve liberation, liberate ourselves from samsara, we need proper meditation, the meditation with the emptiness. There are so many misunderstandings the meaning of the meditation, concentration. Therefore, in the last few classes, we learned the mistake, the idea, the wrong concept about the meditation, concentration. So when we meditate on the chosen object, always remember two things. The concentration has two qualities. First, the quality, the stabilization. So our mind fixed with the chosen object, stabilize, continuously fixed with the chosen object without having any distraction. The second feature is the intrinsic vividness. It is not enough to stabilize our mind on the chosen object. The mind must apprehend, must able to see the chosen object very vividly. Many people think if our mind able to set with the chosen object continuously, then we thought, I can do good meditation. I have a good concentration. No, this is just you have a very similar concentration, not the actual, not the real one. So when we do meditation, the second, the length, the time, the duration is very important. So it depends on the practitioner. If you have the flawless, the concentration, you can concentrate, you can meditate on the chosen object as long as you can. If your concentration not the flawless, it has some mistake, then you do the short and very often to overcome the mistaken paths. So while we are meditating on the chosen object, first important thing we must have the mindfulness. So also many people think the mindfulness and concentration, these two are same. It's totally wrong. Before meditate on something, we need mindfulness. Through mindfulness, our mind can set on the chosen object. When our mind set with the chosen object, then the mindfulness always must be there. The mindfulness look like the rope between the chosen object and the mind which is meditated on the chosen object. The mind is like a monkey. If the monkey just tied with a rope, the monkey cannot stay there. They run away, jump onto another tree. The monkey must tied with a rope with a very strong pillar or very strong stone. If the monkey able to tie rope with a very stable stone like a pillar, rock, then the monkey cannot run away. Doesn't matter how much the monkey try to pull, the monkey cannot run away because the rope is so strong. Therefore, the monkey always stay around the pillar. So when we meditate on the chosen object caused by mindfulness, since the mindfulness always there. The analogy I give you, the monkey can be there if the rope always tied with the chosen object. The mindfulness is look like rope, monkey is look like mind, the pillar, the heavy rock, like a chosen object. So when we meditate on, for example, impermanence, first we use some reasonings and logics. For example, all the conditioned phenomena subject to change momentarily because those are dependent on cause and condition. All the conditioned phenomena subject to change momentarily, not just 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Subject to definitely change momentarily, minute by minute, milliminute is changing because those depend on causes and condition. The phenomena which is depending on causes and condition, subject to change, is changing. How fast? It's changing very fast. In the milliminute, it's changing. Then in your mind, you have a concept, you have a idea what does mean impermanence. Then second, you reflect on your physical body, your physical things, or then also you think, me, my body, all my belongings, my relatives are subject to change momentarily because this thing depending on causes and condition. Then you have clear concept about impermanence and your mind just set with the momentarily changing impermanence. And that moment, the mindfulness always must remember my mind, my attention, meditating on impermanence. That means mindfulness cause the mind to set with the impermanence. And that time now you can see your mind is very clear about impermanence. Then if your mindfulness no more there, then the mind cannot remember impermanence. Then the mind have forgotten the chosen object, which is impermanence, because the mindfulness has gone. So in order to have very strong mindfulness, we need to think repeatedly about impermanence. So we need to read the books. We need to think about impermanence very often. Then when we meditate on impermanence, the mind can be set with the impermanence by forced by mindfulness. Mindfulness, make sure mindfulness. Yes, due to power of mindfulness, our mind can stable on impermanence. Then there are another obstacle, which is laxity. When the vivid understanding of impermanence become bit dim, become bit loose, lax, then one cannot see the impermanence very vividly, clearly, because the laxity arises. Laxity arises because mindfulness becomes very weak. The mindfulness becomes weak, the forgetfulness becomes strong. When the forgetful mind becomes very strong, then no more mindfulness. Then you have forgotten the chosen object, which is impermanence. Therefore, we need very strong mindfulness continuously to meditate on impermanence. The second obstacle is excitement. So while we are meditating on impermanence, our chosen object is impermanence. So we are meditating on impermanence. Suddenly, our mind has gone wondering about drink, wondering about food, wondering about our job, wondering about our families. That means the mind already became excited, distracted by attachment, distracted by desire, distracted by hatred. So when the mind is already wondering something else, that means we say you got excitement. That means the mind is wandering on something else. So when we meditate on the chosen object, the mindfulness is always there to mindful your mind with the chosen object. Make sure the excitement not arised. So in order to realize these two things, laxity and excitement, in order to recognize the laxity and excitement, the second important factor, important methods, technique we need, which is the vigilance. Mindfulness and vigilance. Mindfulness helps continuously meditate on the chosen object. The vigilance help to realize the excitement and laxity. So how we can have the proper visualize? So vigilance. So while we are meditating on impermanence, so we need to analyze, we need to think, is my mind meditating on impermanence? Or my mind is already wondering something else? So we have to do this kind of investigation, in some time. So we must investigate, we must analyze, my mind is meditating on impermanence or wandering somewhere else. Or my mind can see the chosen object clearly or not. So we have to analyze. We must analyze while we are meditating, not after stop the meditating, then analyze. So those are we study in the last class. So many of you have been doing meditation for many years or many months, many times. If you realized my meditation is according to the Lamrim, then it's okay. Please carry on. Please continue your meditation. If you realize my concentration, my meditation is not according to the Lamrim, then you must fix the problem. Which one is not according to Lamrim? The idea about meditation in Lamrim is based on Buddha teaching, based on most of the Indian master, particularly Kamala Shila, about the second stage of meditation. So we can believe what Lama Tsong-kha-pa said is correct, because he says, based on the Buddha teaching, based on the Indian master, the classical texts. So please remember the length of the meditation, long, short. So how long? If you want to do longer meditation, make sure your meditation must have two features: the stabilization and the vivid apprehending the object. Then in between, you need to do analysis. You need to investigate in order to generate the vigilance. So you need to use the vigilance in between, not very often, not after kind of long time. If you do meditation for 10 minutes, you must analyze after 4 or 5 minutes. If you analyze after your meditation, begin after 5 minutes, then your mind still fresh. You will be able to realize the excitement, laxity. If you analyze, if you investigate after like 7 or 8 minutes, that means your mind is already influenced, dominant by excitement, dominant by laxity. So you must know when we must investigate about the concentration. Today, so we're going to study the meaning of excitement and laxity. Please do not feel boring because I often repeat, the topics I could repeat many times. I need to repeat, make sure all of you fully understand. Otherwise, after a few months, we finish the Lamrim. In your mind, you won't have anything. It's no good. When we finish Lamrim, you must have the clear idea about how to achieve Buddhahood. You must have a very clear picture. You must have a very clear map how to achieve Buddhahood. You complete the Lamrim, 3 books. You still don't have any clear picture about the paths, about the Lamrim, how to achieve Buddhahood. Then your study not the proper, not complete, and my explanation cannot be complete. Therefore, I need to repeat very often to make sure you understand. Also, I always request all of you to practice, to have an experience about great compassion, experience about renunciation, experience about bodhicitta, experience about the 5 perfections, particularly the wisdom, which realizes emptiness. Therefore, please don't feel bored when I repeat many times. Is for you. So page number 58. This has 2 sections. The defining characteristic of laxity and excitement. Second, the methods of developing vigilance and recognize them during the meditation. There's been defining characteristic about laxity and excitement. And the method for developing vigilance that recognize the laxity and excitement. I told you the vigilance is look like very sensitive sensor, can sense things very easily, right there. The defining characteristic of laxity and excitement, quoted from Asanga. What is excitement? Question. What is excitement? Then it has 3 parts. It is an unquiet state of mind. Unquiet state of mind, 1 part. Second, consider a derivative of attachment is the second part. The next one, which pursues pleasant object and act as an impediment to meditative serenity. He shows the definition of excitement. First, unquiet mind state. Second, consider a derivative of attachment. This means it's mainly caused by attachment or include into attachment. Which one? Which is the excitement. Mainly caused by attachment, it is part of attachment. It's talking about the nature of the excitement. So what is the unique function? The third one, act as an impediment to meditative serenity. This means it's a kind of very great obstacle to meditative serenity. That means when we focus on something, we cannot focus continuously because of the excitement. Excitement always disturbs us to concentrate on something. Then next, the commentary. There are three aspects to this definition. Number one, its object is an attractive and pleasant one. The excitement objects, the objects of excitement is pleasant or attractive. So excitement always arises based on attractive object or pleasant things. It's talking about the object. Number two, subjective aspect is that your mind is unquiet and scattered outward. Not just unquiet mind, is scattered, your mind outward. So when we meditate on the chosen object, our mind is inward, not outward. So excitement, you cause your mind to escape for the outside object. As it is derivative of attachment, it engages its object with a sense of craving. Number three, the function is to impede civilization of your mind on the chosen object. So when we think about excitement, you need to think the mind, which is very unquiet mind, the excitement always apprehend or focus on the attractive object or pleasant thing. So the function is always disturbed to meditation. So therefore, many of us, when we do meditation, when we meditate on something, after just 2-3 minutes, our mind is always already wondering something else because the excitement is arise. So here I think that this morning when I think about excitement and laxity, your mind is look like, like a small piece of iron. The iron is surrounded by two powerful magnet. So you have a two magnet In between, there's a small piece of metal, small piece of iron. So when this iron come closer, this magnet comes closer to the iron, it stick this way. This magnet come closer to the iron stick this way. Therefore, the mind is pulled by two powerful mind, which is excitement and laxity. So, the one mind pulling upward, just distract your mind from the chosen object. The second one pulling down, meant try to lose your chosen object. Please remember the analogy. Two magnet, in between there's a small piece of iron, which is our mind. Our mind always pulled by excitement, laxity. When the meditated mind pulled by laxity, the mind going to forget the object. When the meditative mind pulled by excitement, not just forget the chosen object, also wondering something else. Right? So always remember the three aspects. What's the object of the excitement? What is the function of the excitement? What's the excitement is look like? He's talking about object from the subject aspect and the nature. Next sentence. When your attention is inwardly fixed upon each object, when your attention is inwardly fixed upon each object. Now everybody, our attention fixed inwardly on the impermanence. Please everybody, our attention is inwardly fixed upon impermanence. Let's say everybody meditate on impermanence. Right? And then excitement, which is attached to form, the excitement which is attached to form, sound, and so on, pulls your attention helplessly towards the objects and cause destruction. So please read this sentence few times. When, you can say, when my attention, so we are talking about ourselves. When my attention is inwardly fixed upon impermanence, and excitement which is attached to form, attached to sound, and so on, pulls my attention helplessly towards this object which is form, sound, so and so, and causes destruction. Please read few times. Please try to understand the meaning of excitement. So now you go through your own kind of experience based on your own meditation, which is you have to say, when my attention is inwardly fixed upon impermanence. That means your attention fixed inwardly on impermanence. That means your mind is meditating on impermanence. Impermanent. Suddenly, the meditation mind got distraction. Distracted by excitement. How the excitement distracted our mind? Because excitement pulls our mind towards desire object, pleasant object. Then our mind has gone. For example, you are meditating in your room. Your friend showing a, let's say, laksa. You are meditating in your room. So your two friends next to you, the excitement friend showing you laksa, pizza, like dumpling, showing you, then your mind attached to the laksa. Right? Your mind attached. Then second, your mind is totally distracted, totally wondering about the laksa, pizza, coffee, food, name, fan. The excitement always showing you beautiful object, because excitement like beautiful object. Excitement likes pleasant things. So excitement pull your attention towards the pleasant object, the attractive object. Then your mind, the meditative mind, distract, go somewhere, right? When your attention is inwardly fixed upon its object, excitement, which is attached to form, sound, and so on, then excitement pulls your attention helplessly towards the object and cause distraction. Then there's a quotation. So right now what we learned the definition of excitement. It is a mind, unquiet mind. The object is pleasant and attractive object. Is caused by attachment or part of attachment. Function is always distract to the concentration mind. The next, there's a question about excitement and scattering. Question, it is excitement when there's a scattering in which other affliction distract your mind away from the object, or for that matter, when there's a scattering towards the other virtuous object. They're asking, is it same, the excitement and scattering is the same or different? Somebody asking, it is the excitement when there is a scattering and which other affliction disturb your mind away from the object, or for that matter, when there's a scattering towards the other virtuous object. So when you are meditating on, let's say, while you are meditating on impermanence, suddenly your mind is wondering about eating. Eating. The mind which is wondering about eating is an excitement. So while you are meditating on impermanence, you're supposed to meditate on impermanence. You're already thinking about Buddha. You're already thinking about emptiness. It's also part of excitement. It's a distraction. So disturbed by attachment or disturbed by anger, distracted by faith. There's so many different ways your mind can be distracted. Clear? So if your mind distracted by attachment, then we name excitement. Your meditative mind distracted by anger, it is scattering, not excitement. Your meditative mind distracted by faith, we name it is scattering, not excitement. Excitement and the scattering mind differentiate based on cause. Caused by attachment, we become excitement. Caused by other afflictions, caused by faith, then we name scattering, not excitement. The reply is here exactly. Excitement is derivative of attachment, part of attachment. So being distracted by other afflictions is not excitement. Rather, it is the mental process of destruction, which is one of the 20 secondary afflictions. Scattering towards virtuous object may involve any virtuous mind or mental process. So not all scattering is excitement. So here you need to learn, you need to know the differences between excitement and destruction and scattering, right? Right now, so we study about the laxity. It is not easy to understand the meaning of laxity because many translations render laxity as sacredness, Jingwa. Tibetan laxity means Jingwa. Jingwa means you are sink. Laxity means you are sink. So first, for example, you are swimming in the water very nice way. So you forgot to flip your hands and legs, then you're going to be sink. So when you are meditating on your chosen object, the mindfulness is always there. No mindfulness, the mind is going to forget the chosen object. While you are swimming, you need to flip your hands and legs. If you stop, you're going to sink. So therefore, Tibetan we call Jingwa, laxity, and slackness, Jumpa, slackness. It's a very similar meaning. Laxity and slackness, Jumpa. But this slackness should not be constitute as a meaning discouragement. Also, Jumpa. So Zumba, skillness. Therefore, laxity, skillness, discourage, has a different meaning. As for its definition, most yogis among these synoptic seems to consider laxity to be lethargic state of mind. So, before Lama Tsong-kha-pa, many of the Tibetan masters who teach meditation, who do meditation, for them, the meaning of laxity is look like lethargy. Lethargy. Synoptic seems to consider laxity to be a lethargic state of mind that stays on its object. That means the mind stays its object of meditation without scattering elsewhere, but lacks limpid clarity. So this is the meaning of definition according to the previous Tibetan masters. Laxity to be lethargic state of mind that stays on each object of meditation without scattering elsewhere, but lacks limpid clarity. For them, lethargy means the mind still continuously stays with the chosen, with the meditation object. There's stability there, not the clarity, not the limpid there. This means this is the lethargy. For them, lethargy. This incorrect. Lama Tsong-kha-pa said, limpid, lack limpid clarity. This is incorrect. For the lethargy is set of cause laxity. So the two are distinct. These two refer to lethargy and laxity. We must distinct. So before Lama Tsong-kha-pa, many Tibetan master, many Tibetan yogi, they thought laxity, lethargy are same kind of mind. Lama Tsong-kha-pa said it is incorrect because the lethargy cause to arise laxity. There's a lethargy, therefore there's a laxity. Therefore, laxity and lethargy are two different mental states, not same. So here what we need to know, laxity, skillness, lethargy, discouragement, as a different meaning. Then there's a quotation from the Kamala Shila stage of meditation. If being oppressed by lethargy and sleepiness, you see your mind become lax or in danger of laxity. Exactly. When we do meditation, so when we meditate on the chosen object, at the beginning, yes, we can meditate on the chosen object in a very proper way. Somehow, we've forgotten the chosen object due to the sleepy, due to lethargy. Lethargy means you cannot see the object very clearly. Then there's another quotation. So become lax or in danger of laxity due to the sleepiness and lethargy. The next sentence, also very important. This status that when your mind became lax, mean first, for example, this is the chosen object, like impermanent, chosen object meditation. My hand look like mine. The mind meditate on impermanence. I hold the pen very tightly. The mind apprehends impermanence very tightly. When I feel sleepy, I lost the pen because I feel sleepy, tiredness. Then I forgot. Then my whole body became lax. Right? This is a sleepiness and lethargy. And also, I hold the pen. My mind meditate on impermanence. Very tightly hold the pen. The mind very strongly, tightly apprehend impermanence. The lethargy, so I'm become a bit loose, not fully sleep, become a bit loose. Again, I lost the pen. Due to sleepiness, due to lethargy, so you're going to forget the chosen object. So the sleepiness and the lethargy cause laxity. Due to the laxity, we're going to forget the chosen object. Therefore, we cannot meditate on something for continuously 10-20 minutes because of the laxity or maybe excitement. Therefore, this status that when your mind becomes lax due to lethargy and sleepiness, it is distracted inwardly. Inwardly also very interesting words. Say, distracted inwardly. So when laxity arises, right? That means at the beginning, okay, I think I hold this pen like this way. Please everybody watch. So I hold this pen like this way, right? I hold the pen very tightly. Same way, my mind meditate on impermanence with the strong apprehending the impermanence. Then slowly, my whole body become bit relaxed. Then you can see the going drop, more drop, slowly, totally forgot. Right? That means, so first I hold the pen very tightly. Second, still I holding the pen, but the tightness is not there, bit loose. This is also laxity, bit loose. Just slowly you can see pen going over, right? So this is very important to know because many yogi has a misunderstanding about their meditation. They thought I'm meditating on something for many years. But they spend their time many years with the laxity. This means they have just meditate on something, not hold the object very tightly, just loosely, look like half sleepy, half meditation. Therefore, Lama Tsong-kha-pa very much emphasized to explain the laxity and excitement, laxity, lethargy, slackness is different. When we meditate on something, we must apprehend the chosen object very tightly, not loosely. When we meditate on chosen object loosely, We cannot name this a meditation. We name this a laxity. Inwardly means still you are meditating on something, but not apprehending the object very strongly, vividly, clearly. Therefore, inwardly, distracted inwardly. Then there's a question, what is the lethargy? Unserviceable state of mind, classified as a derivative of delusion, is work to assess all root affliction and secondary affliction. Now, telling us the definition of lethargy. Unserviceable state of mind, classified as a derivative of delusion, is something, the mind is very unserviceable of state of mind. When you meditate on something, you cannot meditate on something because of the lethargy. Unserviceable of state of mind, and also part of delusion, part of ignorance. Excitement is part of attachment. Lethargy is part of ignorance, part of delusion. So what is function? Is worked to assess all root affliction and secondary affliction. So it causes to arise all the affliction, the root, secondary. The lethargy is very close to ignorance. It is not ignorance, it is part of ignorance. It causes to arise all the afflicted emotions. So this is a function. Right? First, the nature is unserviceable state of mind and classified as a derivative of delusion, and you work to assess all root afflictions and the secondary afflictions. This derivative of delusion is the heaviness and unstability of body and mind. So when we start to do meditation, first time, sometimes we feel, today physical, I'm so tired, I cannot do meditation. You feel so heaviness. Sometimes physically you are very fresh, you are very energetic for meditating on something, but mentally your mind cannot really control. Also, this happens due to the lethargy. Right? We everybody have an experience. We have been experiencing something physically so sleepy, our body feels so heavy. Sometimes our body is physically we are okay, mentally we cannot meditate because of the lethargy. Lethargy, right? This is the definition of lethargy. What is the lethargy? The heaviness of the body and the heaviness of the mind, which are the unserviceability of body and the unserviceability of the mind. This means lethargy. So next we're going to learn about the laxity. Okay, so before we start about laxity, is there anything you may need more clarification, I should clarify? This part is very, very, very important. Please understand, okay? Laxity, skillness, discouragement, lethargy, excitement, the object of this mind, the function of this mind, how to differentiate between those the minds. If you have a confusion, if you don't understand differences between this mind, then you cannot really do the proper meditation. Is there anything I must clarify? I shall just continue.
Geshe-la,
Yes, Sonam.
is it possible that we repeat this part again, because it is a lot of new terms that we learned today.
Mm-hmm.
So before we proceed, is it okay that we repeat this part again? Thank you,
Okay.
Geshe-la.
Yeah. Okay, so we repeat one more from beginning to until the laxity. At the beginning, first, please keep in your mind, when we are meditating, we have two big enemies pulling our meditative mind here and there. Which are the great enemy for our meditation? Laxity and excitement. Laxity means when we forgot our chosen object, then laxity arises. Due to laxity, we usually forget our chosen object. We usually forget the object of meditation. Also, please remember what does mean, I forgot chosen meditation. I forgot object of meditation. It doesn't mean we don't have the idea in our mind. We have, but when we not concentrate on the chosen object, that means we have forgotten the chosen object. That means laxity is one of the big enemy for meditation. Second is excitement. Excitement always pulls your mind something else. Your excitement pulls your mind from the meditation object and let it wandering something else. Therefore, we can say, oh, I cannot do meditation, I cannot focus on the chosen continuously. My mind wandering everywhere because we have a very strong excitement. Therefore, we need to know very precisely the meaning of excitement and laxity. If we don't understand exact, precise meaning of laxity, then we have a strong misunderstanding meditation and laxity. Actually, we spend many hours, many years with the laxity. We thought I meditate on something for many years, but actually we spend our time with the laxity. Therefore, I told you the story, one of the meditators who stayed in the mountain for many years, he came to see His Holiness Dalai Lama. He asked a question. Since I meditate, my mind is not so clear. I become very forgetful person. What happened? That means he spent many years with the laxities. They have always just very like a kind of darkness. So we have to know the differences. At the beginning, there's a quotation from Asanga. What is excitement? And the answer is, it is an unquiet, just jumping, unquiet state of mind is talking about the nature. Second, considered a derivative of attachment. It means it's a true meaning. It's part of attachment or caused by attachment. Derivative of attachment. Then third parts, which pursues pleasant object and attractive object, is talking about the object of excitement. Then function, what is the function of excitement? Impediment to meditative serenity. So first, in order to understand the meaning easily, you must remember this sentence, question and answer. So some of you really don't understand the meaning of object, subject. Very simple. So this is a book. So you can see this book. I can see this book by our eyes. Eyes consciousness is the subject. The book perceived by eyes consciousness. Then this book is object of the eyes consciousness. When you feel to drink a water, you have a desire about drinking water. The desire mind we call subject. Then the desire mind wandering, thinking about water. The water become object. Then excitement is kind of attachment. Always focus, always wondering about pleasant object, attractive object. And always disturbed for the, concentrated mind, meditative mind. Therefore, I told you, so you are look like meditative mind. You have two friends showing, different object. One friend showing you a delicious food, veg or non-veg, doesn't matter. It's delicious food showing to you because your friends like delicious food. Because in the same way, the excitement always wondering about pleasant, attractive object. So your friends show you attractive object, then your mind also attached with the beautiful object. Then your mind distracted by excitement. Same way, when you doing meditation, mind is focusing on the chosen object like impermanence. At the beginning, you are meditating on impermanence. Second, your mind is wondering about food. Why your mind is wondering about food? Because of the excitement. Pulls your minds towards the pleasant object, beautiful object. Then second, the meditative mind distracted, no more there. There are three aspects to this definition. Number one is object. The excitement object is attractive and pleasant. Then subjective aspect. So what does the mind look like? Then your mind is unquiet, not just to be unquiet, also scattered outward, always pulling your mind is outward. with the sense of craving. Then number 3, what is the function of the excitement? The function is to impede stabilization of your mind on its object. So please remember the 3 parts or 3 aspects of the excitement. The second line is more clear. When your attention, when my attention inwardly fix upon its object, mean here we can say, when my attention is inwardly fixed upon impermanence, then excitement pulls my attention helplessly, this object. Which object? The beautiful object, the pleasant object, and cause destruction. You can say, oh, I was meditating on impermanence, my friend disturbed me. How disturb? Your friend disturbs you because your friend shows you pleasant object, beautiful object. When your friend shows you beautiful object, your mind attached with the beautiful object or attractive object, then your meditative mind disturbed, has gone. These are the meaning of excitement. Second part, all the destructive mind, all the destruction mind are excitement or not? The answer is no. All the destruction mind not necessarily to be excitement. So simply we can say all the excited minds are destruction mind. Not all the destruction mind necessarily excitement. For example, we all human beings, all the excitements are destruction mind. All human beings are not us, not we. That means all the destruction mind not necessarily to be excitement. That means how we can differentiate. Very simply, we all commonly meditate on impermanence. Right? Let's say we are meditating on impermanence. Suddenly, our mind disturbed, wondering something else, wondering about what? Food. So our mind is already distracted because of excitement pulls our mind towards the food. This kind of destruction mind we name excitement because caused by attachment. So while you are meditating, then your mind is wondering about food. This means this is excitement caused by attachment, caused by desire. Second, all we commonly meditate on impermanence. Suddenly we get angry towards our enemy. So when we get angry, our mind got again excitement, wondering about the enemy, then our mind totally destructed. This kind of destructive mind we name excitement or not. No, it is not excitement. It is a destructive mind, not excitement mind, because it is not caused by attachment, it's caused by anger, hatred. Your mind, your meditative mind, pulls towards the enemy by anger or hatred. Right? Third one, for example, again, we all meditating on impermanence. Suddenly, so Buddha appeared to our mind. We remember recitation, chanting, prostration. Then our mind, meditative mind, distract towards prayers, distract towards a Buddha. This is also a destruction mind, not excitement, because not caused by attachment, it's caused by faith or caused by something else. So therefore, it differentiates between excitement and skillness or destructive mind, skillness. The next one, differentiating between lethargy.
Geshe,
Yes.
We are talking about distractions and excitement. So when it is not the distractions is not caused by attachment and caused by others, is that a great obstacle towards the meditation's concentration?
Yes, definitely. Then you may think, it is negative thoughts or not? Right? Very good question. While we are meditating on impermanence, our mind is distracted by anger. It is destruction. We got destruction. We should not name excitement because caused by anger, hatred. Also, while we are meditating on permanence, suddenly Buddha appeared to our mind. If we continuously, meditate or wondering about Buddha, also we name this is a destruction mind. This is a skillness, but not excitement because it's not caused by attachment and attachment. Excitement always caused by attachment. Your mind pulls by attachment towards the chosen, towards the beautiful or pleasant object. Therefore, Lama Tsong-kha-pa said, in all the master says, we should not change our meditation or chosen object of meditation. When we do meditation in order to achieve serenity, we always have one object. Only one object, not 2, 3, 4, 5. You can, for example, at the beginning, you can do recitation, chanting, prostration, visualization. Then you stop everything and you remember the chosen object of meditation and you fully focus only this object. While your mind is focusing your attention fixed on the chosen object, then the mind is wandering over food and drink. We get excitement. While you are meditating on impermanence, your mind is wandering over your enemy. It caused by anger. This is a destruction, not excitement. While you are meditating on impermanence, you remember Buddha, you remember chanting, recitation. Also, we can name destruction, but not excitement. we name destruction, we name slackness. So Tibetan we call excitement is gopa, gopa. Stillness, scattering, we name namyeng, meaning your mind has wandering. Okay, then, so differentiate this one. Then there's a few quotation about the excitement. Now we move to laxity. Laxity means that your mind's way of apprehending laxity means that your mind's way of apprehending the object of meditation is slack, and it does not apprehend the object with much vividness or firmness. So even if it is limpid, if your mind is way of apprehending the object is not highly vivid, then laxity has set in. So please read this sentence for a few times slowly. Okay, so laxity means that your mind's way of apprehending the object of meditation is slack. For example, when we meditate on impermanence, the mind is the subject, the mind is apprehending impermanence. Apprehending impermanence. When the mind cannot apprehend impermanence, then the mind is slack about impermanence. Laxity means that your mind's way of apprehending the object of meditation is slack. I mean, at the beginning, you apprehend impermanent very vividly, tightly. Then slowly, your mind becomes lax. That means impermanent has gone. And it does not apprehend the object with much vividness or firmness. So two parts, very important. The vividness or firmness. When we do meditate on impermanence, we must apprehend the impermanence in our mind. Apprehend very vividness must be there, firmness must be there. That means your mind tightly hold the impermanence. That means your mind apprehend impermanence very vividly, tightly. Always look like, for example, you are fighting with your enemy. Your enemy. So somehow you're able to hold, your enemy hands together. You're able to hold. When you able to tie their hand, you must hold very tightly, continuously tightly. If you lose the enemy hands, has gone from your hands, they will harm you. Think about you are fighting with your enemy. Somehow you're able to tie, two hands together in your hand. When you must hold, not just hold tightly. If you hold loosely, the enemy hands will gone. So hold, not just hold, tightly. So when you meditate on impermanence, the mind must focus on the impermanence vividly, very tightly. tightly means very focusfully, vividly, focusfully. But if there's no vividness, then there must be laxity. If there's no tightness, then there must be laxity. Therefore, it's a two parts. Vividness or firmness. So even if it is limpid, your mind's way of apprehending the object is not highly vivid, then laxity has set in. If your mind is clear about impermanence, but the mind not apprehending the impermanence very vividly, forcefully, then also laxity there. It's not just enough to have a, the clarity, limpid. So even if it is limpid, if your mind's way of apprehending the object is not highly vivid, then laxity has set in quotation. When your mind does not see, when your mind does not see the object vividly, like a person born blind, or person entering a darkness place, or like having one's eyes shut, then recognize that your mind has become lax. Laxities look like, this analogy, like a person born blind. The person cannot see things. The person is there, the person cannot see things. Or when you walk in the darkness, when you enter in darkness, you can see things, but not clearly. Or like having one's eyes shut, looking by two eyes, looking by one eye is different. When you look at by two eyes, you can see the things very clearly. When you shut your one eyes, you cannot see things clearly. You still can see, but not so clearly.
Sorry, Geshe-la.
Mm-hmm.
In this part, can you explain what does it mean by hold strongly to the object of meditation?
Okay. For example, hold the meditative mind. The meditative mind is a mind. When we do meditation, we are person, right? So when we do meditation, actually our mind is focusing on the object, so chosen object. Therefore, the mind we call the meditative mind. The meditative mind meditates on impermanence. The impermanent is an object of the meditative mind. When the meditative mind meditates on impermanence, the meditative mind must apprehend impermanence, must hold the impermanence of object. Not just hold very vividly, apprehend very vividly, tightly, force. That means, for example, when you miss someone, there's a two ways. Someone you miss very strongly, look like the person is in front of you. Sometimes you miss someone, but not strongly. You miss, but you cannot see the person is look like real there. Therefore, when we meditate on impermanence, there's kind of two ways. One, just apprehend the impermanence, but the force is not there. The mind is not that strong to apprehending the impermanence. Therefore, we call hold mean focus. Focus on impermanence. Not just only focus. Focus impermanence vividly means you need to apprehend the impermanence very vividly, clearly. not just vividly, clearly, the mind must be very fresh. Freshness must be there, strongness must be there, tightness must be there. So this means whole mean focus. Tightly mean focus forcefully, freshly. So this is the meaning of whole, the object of meditation. Got clear?
Geshe-la,
Mm-hmm.
impermanent is a concept. So how do you know the vividness of impermanence? Because it's not like an apple. If it's vivid, you can clearly see the lines and cracks.
Yeah.
Impermanence is a concept, so it's very difficult to understand what does it mean by vividly holding the impermanent.
Good question. So the physical things, when we say I can see the things very vividly, we are talking about the eyes consciousness. Eyes can see the physical thing very vividly. When you close your eyes, when you think about the apple, still you can see the apple very clearly, vividly, right? Because the apple picture is in your mind very clearly. After you closing after your eyes, still you can see the apple in your mind very clearly. Can you see or you cannot see? You can, right?
Yes.
It's seeing by the sixth mind. For the sixth mind, is same thing, seeing the physical phenomena, seeing the non-physical phenomena, it is seeing the same way. How come after you shut your eyes, still you can see the apple very clearly in your mind? Because you copy the picture very well. You have a well picture of the apple in your mind. Same way, I said at the beginning, first you need to use the logics about impermanence. Few times you use the logic, think about impermanence, changing second moment by moment. After using your logics, this logic about impermanence, then you have a very clear picture, clear concept about impermanence, right? It doesn't have a shape, but you have a very clear understanding about impermanence. Yes, all things are like that. So when you have the concept of impermanence very clearly in your mind, then you just meditate on the impermanence as a clearly, vividly. So you're right, when we use the eyes consciously, yes, we can see the physical things very clearly. Non-physical things we cannot see through your eyes. Based on the sixth mind, things see same way. Things, something we see more clearly, something we cannot see more clearly, because it depends on us, how much we are able to understand the apple, how much we understand the impermanence. So we can see the apple very vividly, clearly. Same way, we can see the impermanence very clearly, vividly. For example, in Tibet, there was a master of the Pavanga Rinpoche, the name, I think, Dalai Lama. He was from Drepung Monastery. So when he meditated on compassion, general compassion, I think he practiced bodhicitta, and he always meditated on compassion. He always, crying, the joyness, or kind of, moved by compassion. How he can have this kind of feeling? Why we cannot have? Because he fully understood the benefit of compassion. Also, he fully able to generate compassion. Therefore, for him, 24 hours, maybe all sentient being vividly, clearly seen by his mind. Yes, definitely, even the non-physical things, you can see very clearly, vividly by sixth mind. Okay, any question? No more? Then we can move next.
Geshe,
Yes.
there are 3 questions and 1 seeking clarification.
Okay.
First question comes from Lawrence. Geshe, please explain again our mind. 1 is being distracted by anger, 2 by attachment, and 3 by facts. Thank you.
It's very simple. Let's say, Karen, you just meditate on impermanence. Also, everybody meditate on impermanence. Certainly, your mind distracted by coffee, delicious coffee. Your mind is distracted by excitement. Now you can understand your mind is distracted. Your mind is wondering about coffee. Because you like coffee, your mind is craving about coffee. So this destruction mainly caused by attachment or desire. Therefore, we name is excitement. Clear? Second, now everybody commonly meditate on impermanence. Suddenly you get angry. Your mind distracted from the meditation object, distracted. Your mind is no more there. Your mind wondering about your enemy because of the anger. Anger distracted your mind. This is the slackness, distraction mind, not excitement. Because the meditative mind not distracted by attachment, distracted by anger, hatred. Third, please continuously meditate on impermanence. Suddenly you wish to recite mantra and your meditative mind distracted by faith. Because you have a faith to Buddha, then you suddenly, immediately suddenly remember recitation. Then your meditative mind distracted by faith or belief, whatever. So it's very clear, when your mind distracted, first we need to know, oh, now my mind is already scared, scattering, disturbed. Disturbed by which mind? Disturbed by attachment, anger, hatred, faith, whatever. So this one, you have to know through your own experience. Therefore, first you meditate on impermanence. Definitely, then you can remember many things. Sometimes attachment, sometimes by anger, sometimes by faith, sometimes by like a sense of joy. Yes, this is, you have to go through experience. I just gave you the example. Next question, please.
Next question comes from Mui Pang. In practice, we need to check with teacher, right? Ourselves cannot tell the difference between this state of mind. laxity, excitement, scattering mind. I mean, if a beginning student were to go really into a calm abiding retreat, he or she needs to be in contact with one's guru to check experiences, to check whether we identify these different obstacles correctly. Thank you, Geshe.
So please look at the page number 60. It is easy to recognize excitement, but laxity is hard to comprehend since it is not clearly identified in the authoritative classes text. It is also very important because in this case, it is a major point of the misunderstanding concerning flawless concentration. Therefore, you should experience laxity with unexciting awareness. And on that basis, examine it well and identify it is according with the Kamala Shila stage of the meditation. So in order to differentiate these two mental states, the guru can give you the rough idea. Actually, you have to go through your own experience based on the Lamrim, based on the state of meditation of Kamala Shila. You no need to ask teacher, you no need to ask guru, you read Lamrim. You then check is according to Lamrim or not. So the books are the right methods to check. You can differentiate excitement and laxity or not. Also, you can differentiate laxity, lethargy, slackness, so and so. So you must, read Lamrim, check is according to Lamrim or not. You should not really. I'm not sure if the guru has a clairvoyance, the guru can tell. If the guru doesn't have the clairvoyance about knows your mind, the guru also cannot tell. So therefore, it depends on we call pecha, right? All the teaching we call fe cha, lamrim we call fe cha. All the dharma books we call fe cha. This means fe means is example. Cha means you check your mind is according to this book, this teaching or not. So the Lamrim book is the right teacher for you to teach all the differentiation. I'm not sure if you have a guru who can see your mind, then he or she can tell you. Otherwise, nobody can. You can tell, you can check yourself. Next question.
Next question comes from Sri Kim. Sri Kim, can you please unmute your mic? Thanks.
Okay. Geshe, I'd like to ask you actually two questions. One is about laxity itself. Laxity means that you are just meditating on an object that's unclear. You have not forgotten the object. So, like the monk that you say who went to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, why is it that after you meditate with laxity for a long time, you become forgetful? Because you have not forgotten any object. It's just that your mind lacks vividness, that's all. So why is it that you have not forgotten any object? Your mind is still there, just as not vivid. So why is it that it causes forgetfulness?
Okay, so first, two things is very important, interesting for me. Two things. The human body and the human mind. If you use the human mind as much as you can for every day, your mind always be very clear, very active mind about the mind. Therefore, if you always repeatedly thinking about impermanent, compassion, emptiness, then your mind is very clear about those. Second, very interesting about human body. Many people say, oh, so we must live longer. We must live longer. We must have a rest, right? Resting. People thought if you have a more resting, you can live longer. Actually, it's opposite. If you resting long, you have a short life. If you use the human body as much as you can in the proper way, the human body become more active, more healthy. So this is very interesting thing. You must know the human mind and human body. For in my monastery, we have a few monks who served as an army for maybe like 30, 40 years, then became a monk. Their body is very fit, even though 80, 90 years old. Physically, they are very healthy, very active. Because when they are young, they use the body, with a lot of exercise. So the monk who did meditation for many years, the mind become very forgetful. Because many hours, maybe almost whole day, if just one meditate on the object, not so clearly, vividly, the mind is very lax. The mind just hold the object, with a lazy way, very lazy way. The mind focus on the object very relaxedly. So many years, his mind is not really active, just relax. Not really active, just relax on the chosen, just remember the chosen object, not so clearly, vividly. Therefore, his mind has got the habits to active very softly or maybe lazily, no active way. Therefore, even though slowly, the person cannot remember things very clearly. This reason, also the laxity is not just forgetting the object. The laxity is still remember the object. Remember, not so clearly, very, little bit very kind of darkness way. That means, for example, somebody asks you to watch someone. At the beginning, you can watch very focusfully the person, right? You can watch. After a few minutes, you cannot watch because your eyes muscle got tired. So mind is not like that. Mind can watch, focus on the chosen object very vividly, strongly for a few hours. Therefore, if your mind is just meditate on the object, not vividly, clearly for many years, then your all minds cannot active well, very easy to forget things. Many things you're not going to remember because your mind got very bad habits. Got clear?
Okay.
Yes, that's quite clear. Thank you, Geshe. One other question is, there is some teachers who advocate that when you relax, you actually can meditate better, especially when you even meditate on a supine position, that means sleeping position. And it is said that the noble Ananda actually gained single-pointed meditation or something like that in that position, supine position. Is that the case? Should we do that?
You are correct, because at the beginning, when Lama Tsong-kha-pa explained the flawless meditation, right?
Yeah.
This is the, I think, many Indian Tibetan master says, if you focus too much, there's a danger to have an excitement. So in order to stop the excitement, you must relax your mind. Right? Relax your mind, then you can have a better meditation. Therefore, Lama Tsong-kha-pa explained this idea is not the correct, is there's something wrong. You must read this part. Second, in order to reach achieve the proper meditation, the sitting position is not that important. Definitely not that important. Generally, yes, we talk about how we should sit when we do meditation, the sitting posture, full lotus posture, half lotus posture. Generally, not that important. For example, the Shanti Deva, right, who composed the Buddhist way of life, in the common sense, normally most time he was sleeping. He just eat and sleeping and toilet. He did only 3 activities. So therefore, the sitting position, you can sleep on the, you can just lay down on the bed. You can sit on the chair. Still, you can achieve the proper meditation. Then the sleeping meditation is, I think, cannot be good for. Everybody cannot be stable for doing the sleeping meditation. So the person who do the sleeping meditation, they are not just sleeping. We call, Niki or clear-eyed mind in the sleeping. So this is not, stable for everybody. There's a few people can do, not everybody can do. Also, it's too advanced to, explain the sleeping meditation. Many people think sleeping meditation means, sleep happily and you can do meditation.
No, I'm just wondering whether if you do sleeping position, it's very easy for you to fall into laxity, like you say, sleeping.
You are good, we cannot do the sleeping meditation, but definitely we all can transform our sleeping into the virtuous action. So before you sleep, you generate strong like compassion, or you meditate on compassion, you just visualize all Bodhisattvas. Within this kind of mental state, able to sleep for 10, 20 hours, 10 or 5, 6 hours, all your sleeping duration can be positive action, accumulate a lot of positive actions. It's very easy, anybody can do. Okay, so
Thank you, Geshe.
now it's almost 5 p.m. So tomorrow is Sunday. Next 2 Sunday, we won't have the class. And please everybody enjoy the teaching from Venerable children. Also, when you attend the teaching, please attend the teaching. Also, please try to understand. If you don't understand, please keep a note and you ask question directly to Venerable. If there's no chance to ask question, if I can, then I will clarify some of your doubts. It is so important to attend, like a Dharma class. Also, it is so important to study Dharma. If you very much focus on receiving teaching, studying teaching, not practicing, then there's no point at all. Please attend the teaching, please study Dharma, and more practice the Dharma. Try to achieve something in this lifetime. Also, many people think, oh, I don't think I can do this lifetime. I will have a lot of the mental imprints. Then in future, life can be good. We should not think that way. We should think it's a very urgent. Most of us, over 50, 60, we won't have many years to go. Next life, we never know. We will born as a cow, sheep, animal, fish. So we should not just expect good thing happen in next life. We just expect good thing must happen this lifetime. Do study Dharma to happen something this lifetime. Do attend the teaching, something happen this life. Should not think much about, oh, good for next life. Mental imprint, so and so. Because everybody has enough, the previous mental imprint about studying Dharma, understanding Dharma, attending teaching, doing a lot of good things. We have more than enough mental imprint. We are mostly only lacking the practicing. Also, you should not think, oh, I'm very busy, I'm very lazy, I'm not intelligent, I cannot practice Dharma. You should not think that way. Remember the story about the great path and the small path, right? There's a family who has a 2 child. First child born, the family were very excited and asked the nanny to bring this child in the 4 junction to come all the Sangha. And every day the nanny bring the child to the 4 junction, then afternoon all the monks come for the begging food, and everybody bless the boy. That the boy become very great scholar. Second child comes, no excited. So second child didn't get enough blessing for the monks or for the practitioner. Then the second child become quite, not intelligent, quite dumb. Then he also become a monk. Within one day, he cannot learn just one sentence. Learn one sentence in the morning, forgot afternoon. Learn afternoon, forgot evening. He could not learn just one sentence one day. Actually, my teacher has his personal student. My teacher taught him something in the morning, he forgot, evening. He cannot study any sentences. Then my teacher is totally, very discouraged about his study. Then my teacher said, so this I tell later. Then the second child became a monk. He could not learn anything. Then his brother is very embarrassed. He said, you must leave the monastery. You're not going to learn anything. He's really embarrassing me. So the second brother left the monastery. Then he met a Buddha on the way. The Buddha asked, why you are crying? He said, my brother asked me to leave the monastery. I'm leaving. I could not learn anything. The Buddha said, no. You no need to learn anything. You just come with me. You just clean the yard of the monastery. When the monk do chanting, all the shoes, the summer shoes, they clean all the shoes, put in the tati way. Every day you clean the yard. The Buddha taught him, clean the dust. It's very easy, right? He said, he's not dust. Every day when he cleaned the yard, he said, clean the dust. Then one day he thought about what does meaning the clean the dust. Then he realized that dust is not the external dust, it's the inner dust of attachment, inner dust of anger, inner dust of ignorance. Clean means purify, eliminate attachment, desire. So through his, the service for the monastery, he accumulated merit, eliminate negative karma. He learned so many things. So practice is very important. Then my teacher student, he could not learn anything within one day. Then my teacher became very discouraged. He said, okay, I don't think you're going to learn anything. You just walk around the monasteries, the Drepung Monastery. Whenever you see the yellow piece of clothes, the red piece of clothes, you collect all the, red clothes, yellow clothes of piece, and you wash, and you hang up on the tree. Then every day he goes around the monastery, he collect all the, yellow color of piece, the red color of piece. He collect everything, he just wash, hang up on the tree for almost few months. Then slowly he start to learn. That means the teacher has actually asked him to purify your negative karma through this practice. Therefore, we should not think I'm very busy, I'm very lazy, I'm not intelligent, I don't understand much, I don't think I can practice Dharma. You must think, I can. Chinese, you can say, 我会, 为什么我不会? Right? 我会, 为什么我不会? Just encourage yourself. So practice the Dharma, whatever you learn. And thank you so much. Then have a happy Saturday. So we won't see tomorrow Sunday or next Sunday, but we will have a study class.
Thank you, Geshe, for your teaching and everyone for your participation.
Thank you so much. So at the end, so please dedicate the merit for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Dedicate the merit to have a long life, all the lineage, gurus and masters, particularly the His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama. Dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly your relatives, your friends, your dear one.